Is the new 2025 Ram 1500 Limited Crew Cab the best truck out? I'm going to give you 3 reasons why. This year we get updates to the exterior, wheel designs, and even in the interior we now have a larger screen that you can tick the box on, but it's still going to be a standard 8-inch infotainment screen. But they've also added a screen for the passenger, and they've dropped the Hemi V8. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to go over some pros and cons and the problem that I have with the new Ram. Starting in the front, LED headlights and daytime runnings that integrate into the reworked grille. It is going to be large and in charge with the Ram badging that pushes out more. The lower bumper gets the tow hooks with LED fog lights and front parking sensors, but you have to tick the box to get a 360-degree reverse camera, and this is the limited trim, which when you go into the limited Longhorn, that's when you can get the option for this. This year we've also added a new tungsten, comes standard with this high output engine. And the 360-degree reverse camera starts as a package on the Rebel trim and is standard on the RHO. And the Bighorn Lone Star starts the package of the electronic on-demand transfer case, which is what we have here, that is standard. Otherwise, the base trim Tradesman, Warlock, and the Bighorn Lone Star will come standard with electronic part-time transfer case. And the full-time with driving mode is only on the RHO, so it's hard to really say which is the sweet spot, but the limited unlocks the most features considering you're getting this engine standard with a lot of updates in the interior. And this year we now have the 3.0 liter inline 6-cylinder high output twin turbo producing 540 horsepower with 521 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 15 mpgs for the city, 17 mpgs for the highway, which is not a huge difference from the Hemi, but what you're getting is a lot more power underneath the hood when you're going to this variant. Wheel configuration, we got a 20-inch multi-spoke alloy wheel, and they have new designs this year. Ram with the limited badging, and what you're going to notice with the limited trim is it's a lot more chrome aesthetics because they're stressing luxury when you go into the limited tier. We also have the power running boards, so it does make it a little bit easy because we have 8.3 to 8.7 inches of clearance, 4-corner air suspension, over 1,300 pounds payload, so it's the truck that's getting a little bit more done, which is the first reason why I would tick the box to the new Ram, especially the limited trim. Not only are you getting more standard features, but when you option the level 1 or level 2, you get nearly the same features as a tungsten. We also have the Ram box. This is also nice because you have a home plug on the driver's side, more storage so you can put your tools so you don't have to use everything through the bed. LED taillights. The Tradesman has a standard 3.21 axle ratio with an option for the 3.92 axle ratio, which comes standard on the Rebel, option on the Laramie, and coming back into the limited Longhorn, as well as the vehicle we're showcasing today. Dual exhaust outlets are still housed on the lower, reverse parking sensors with the reverse camera, spare tire tucked underneath. Under 26-gallon tank, we have the 33-gallon tank, and that becomes standard on the limited Longhorn, with a max towing over 11,500 pounds. But the con to me is when you go into Ford, it's still going to tow more. This is an all-new high-output engine, and we're still going to be underneath some of the competition. But the pro that we have going here is not only do you get these updates, but you're getting more power underneath the hood than the prior gen. Multi-function for the tailgate, which means you can also open this way. Now this is an extra premium, but I would definitely do so with the crew cab configuration. Max cargo is at 68.5 cubic feet, a length of 67.4 inches, the width at 50 inches. Depth at 21.4 inches. We need to go inside, start up this twin turbo Hurricane high performance output so we can hear that exhaust note. The key fob to the new Rebel. Power running boards going into 12-way power seat adjustment for the front, heated, ventilated, leather wrap. You get the quilted inlays, massage seats for the driver and passenger, memory for the driver. In the interior, you can see some of the differences coming into play with the 10.3-inch passenger side screen. And you have an option for a 14.5 center touchscreen. Let's fire it up. Heads-up display is a package that will also be included with a digital rear view mirror and a double pano moonroof, as well as that 14.5-inch touchscreen. This is the standard, this is the 12-inch, standard is 8-inch, and this screen starts on the Rebel. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. It does have somewhat of a glitch still. You have the pinch and swipe. Put it into reverse, we get a reverse camera. Now, if you want the 360-degree reverse camera, that's an option, and you can also get that on the Rebel 2 package. And check out the massage seats function you have. You got the waterfall, you got the lower back, lower extended, and you can also change it as 3 different tiers. So I like that they giving you that functionality, which is the second reason why I would option this, because what other truck does this? Going into dual climate control settings, which you just push here, or you have physical buttons still right around it with a 12-volt charger, storage, you got the wood inlays, and that quilted inlays come into the center. Now on the passenger side, you also have a touch screen as well, so you don't have to do anything on this side. It just makes it a little bit more easier for the passenger to access anything for their HDMI, if they want to play anything through here, as well as a storage sleeve with the limited badging and that quilted inlays here, and it is actually soft to touch. It opens up as a 2-tier, so you have storage, USB port, and this is a deep storage pocket. You also have your measurements here, so it makes work easy. Cup holders open up like this. This also slides, so it's a deep storage pocket. You can also slide it back, and now you have a deep storage area here with dual wireless charging and a home plug. And look at all of the USB ports that you have with the HDMI there. So just a lot of connectivity here. Rotary knob to put it into gear. And the gauge cluster is a 12-inch digital reader that can go through an array of different content for the driver. You can also change the configuration. And you can change that configuration as well. Leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function, it's heated. Not a big fan of the gears being right here, but where else are you going to put it, because we don't have the stock here, or we don't have a gear lever here in the center, so it does clean up, and we still have space there. And look at the leg space that you have, as well as the headroom. Door panel and dashboard don't really configure it together, but I like that they got the contrast stitching, that quilted inlays, the wood. You got the glossy black for the door handle, one touch up and down for the front windows. Storage in the door pocket. You have these cup holders. They do remove. Otherwise, it's a pretty long storage pocket. 6 speakers is standard. 10 speakers start on the Rebel. 19 speakers start on the Limited, and 23 speakers is only on the Tungsten. For the back seat, this is the opening that you have to fit 3 more in the back. These seats lift up at a 40-60 split, and you have storage as well as a flat floor and a storage box. Grab handles here to make it easy with the running boards. Heated, ventilated rear seats with a home plug, air vents, a storage tray, cup holders, and you'll have storage behind both of the front seats. The center, you pull this down and you'll have your cup holders, lift that up, and you got more storage and some pin holders here on the side. So I think it's pretty cool how they have equipped everything in the interior, and you can see the 19 speakers through Harman Kardon coming into the back, as well as a power rear window. Door panel is going to get the glossy black. You'll have the quilted inlays. So everything that's found in the front comes into the back. Even the same for the storage. Look at the leg space that you have. And check out the headroom. It's literally like an SUV, but it's a truck. You got a ton of room. Kids can just play back here because leg space even in the center, knee space, butt, leg, shoulder space. Making this not only luxurious, but a lot of room for 3 more occupants. Taking the reworked engine as well as updates on the exterior and the interior of this Ram out. Now they still do offer the base V6 that also has a 48-volt hybrid system that has 305 horsepower. And they have 2 different variants of this twin-turbo inline-6 Hurricane, which starts with 420 horsepower. I already have a review on it, so you can check that out. And the 540, which we have been waiting to get our hands on, and that's what we're showing today. Clearance is great. I mean, over 8 inches, any which way you go. You can option packages on the vehicle to make it more luxurious. That would add the heads-up display, but unfortunately the con that's going to come right off the bat, like I was saying on the interior, you can't get the 23 speaker upgraded sound system. Only way you can get that is through the new tungsten. Ram is always a quiet vehicle. Seats are comfortable, massage seats. I mean, what truck gives you this? All the styling elements and all of the luxury amenities, no other vehicle captures this. And I don't know why they're not doing these little updates, considering you're at almost 80 grand. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that, because I like Ford, I like Chevy and GMC. I think they all do a great job and they are kind of unique to what they do. However, why don't they give us more luxury amenities in the interior? I feel that Chevy and GMC are starting to do a lot better, but it's still not as cleaned up as this. This is kind of like the S-Class of trucks, but then on the con, it doesn't come with a standard 360-degree reverse camera. I'm on the limited trim. I don't really want to keep adding packages because I'm going to be over 80 grand really quick, and then it's not really that great of a deal. It's going to take me to some pros and cons. You've heard a ton of pros through the interior and exterior of the review, so we're going to just jump into the cons, which, like I was saying, adding packages, I understand one or two things here and there, but it really does change the whole configuration when you add level 1 or level 2, especially for the interior components. They do have off-roading packages as well, which I can understand that because not everybody wants an off-roading variant. I do like that it has the 4-corner air suspension because it does make the drive a little bit more smooth when it needs to be, and it adapts changing for off-road capabilities. Turn radius, it's a long truck. Don't expect it to be great. About 2 and a part lane. Let's rock and roll. Power compared to the standard Hurricane engine, you're gonna feel a slight difference. The major thing that I noticed right off the bat driving this and having it today for the review is it doesn't feel like the vehicle kind of shakes a little bit more so going into the standard Hurricane engine. When you go into the high output, it seems to be a little bit more opened up and kind of free. The twin turbo, does it have lag? For a truck, I mean, I think it's getting the job done. But on the con, no more V8s, which is kind of the signature to Ram. Is the extra power going to change people's mind? And because it's the first generation of this engine, because the Hemi is known for a lot more reliability, not saying that this one isn't, but in reality, only time will tell. Seat comfort is good, the suspension itself, I mean, it's gonna be smooth. You can feel boaty whenever you're taking some harder bends in the road, but if you're just driving on the interstate or just like local roads and you're not going crazy fast, you're not gonna have that feel to it. I wish it had blind spot monitoring because, again, at the pricing that we're at, but even when you go into Ford, the F-150s, they kind of start around the 55 to 65 pricing in order to get certain features on the vehicle, but when you go that route, you also can recline the seat all the way back so it's kind of like a bed. You can fold out the center cluster so that way if you're using your laptop on a work site, you can do so. It also has a little bit more capabilities than this, which to me is the big problem. We did a full refresh in the sense of giving us a new engine and some of the exterior and interior elements, but it still doesn't capture the best in class for towing and payload. And the Toyota Tundra did the same thing a few years back when they did their refresh. And now with their twin turbo 6, you see the issues that's coming out of that vehicle. They have literally recalled hundreds of thousands of units, which takes me to the third reason why I would consider optioning this. The power is better, the interior is the most luxurious, and for either for a workload or for a daily use, this hands down will tick the box to all of those capabilities. We're going about 15. Let's give her a go. It's not gonna sound like the Hemi, which is a con because these vehicles are known for that throaty exhaust output, and I'm not a huge fan of all of the technology giving another screen on the passenger side with a lot of buttons. The good thing that you have going though is you still have physical buttons because the infotainment screen does have a little lag. Braking, it's not the best in class. For maneuverability purposes, you can get in and out of areas even though it's a long vehicle, but when you're looking at a half-ton pickup truck, you already know what to expect. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise website and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Furman Ram of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 Ram 1500 Limited Crew Cab for our car review.